Broly becomes a god, Cell returns, and Goku and Vegeta finally get noticed by Beerus. Clearly, that's going to lead to a lot of different things happening in this part. But how's that going to turn out for everybody? And what kind of new villains will come there as a result of this? And is Cell actually a threat here? Well, we'll be seeing all that and more in this part 9 of What If Goku Found Broly Early. Immediately after gaining control of the Frieza Force, Cell just uses them for his own gain. He just wants to get perfection after all. He has no use taking over planets or whatever. He needs to reach his true potential. Of course he's been training, trying to grow as strong as possible, but now with these resources, he can finally attain perfection. And it doesn't take too long for the Frieza Force scientists to figure out something, especially with Cell's own knowledge and his help. Cell evolves, finally attaining the perfection that he sought for so long. And just to make sure that he doesn't have to deal with Frieza again, he just obliterates the Frieza Force. He already got use out of them, so it doesn't really matter. Frieza could be a fun opponent to fight again, but Cell was kinda underwhelmed with his last battle. More importantly, he's focused on a few certain people on Earth, mainly Broly. He wants to find Broly again, face him now with perfection, see if the two are matched in strength somehow. Thankfully, he doesn't need their spaceships either. He just simply flies over to Earth. It doesn't take too long for him to arrive. And immediately, those who are on Earth can sense Cell's power. Gohan and Piccolo must think this is the result of the Dragon Balls. What if that was Cell that came there and got them? They could recognize his power, and it's changed quite a bit. It's a lot stronger than before. But that doesn't make sense. They would have sensed him when he came here last time. Who used the Dragon Balls and for what? But it doesn't matter. There's no time to question it. Immediately, Gohan and Piccolo head over to try and face him. With these two being the strongest on Earth right now, Broly, and Goku and Vegeta for that matter, are all on Beerus' planet. So it's up to them. Cell's there waiting, in the middle of nowhere, knowing that someone's gonna come to him eventually. And he's elated. It's two people that he recognizes, one who he actually fought alongside before, albeit briefly. It's Piccolo and Gohan. He and Gohan don't actually have much history here because of how differently the Cell saga went. But from what he understands, Gohan is decently powerful. He doesn't know how strong the two of them are right now, but he doesn't think they'll be a threat for him. He just asked them. He wants to see Broly. He's not actually here to destroy them, even though they might think so. That would be kind of a waste. Of course, these two aren't going to buy it. Cell is a threat after all, and always has been. Especially with him randomly appearing on Earth now, with some new power. He looks completely different. But Cell tells him to stop being so paranoid. If he wanted to destroy them, he could have just done so a long time ago. He could have blown up Earth if he wanted. He really just wants to see his own strength compared to theirs. He tells them he's been growing a lot stronger, and not just that, he's finally attained perfection, as they could see. And he tells them they owe him if anything. For what? Well, Frieza came back. That must have been what the Dragon Balls were used for, and he was actually the one to kill Frieza. And he does mention Frieza got a lot stronger, but not strong enough to actually contend against Cell. But who knows, Frieza might have come here and slaughtered them all, if it wasn't for Cell stopping him. Piccolo tells Cell that they're the two strongest here. Broly's gone, and he's probably not going to come back for a while. They still obviously don't trust Cell being here. He's still a threat after all. But maybe he is kinda telling the truth. If he wanted them dead, he could have done so a while ago. He could do it right now. And Cell's annoyed with waiting. He just wants to find Broly, asking where he is. They come up with a lie and Piccolo says he has no clue where Broly went. He, Goku, and Vegeta went off planet. They're somewhere out in space. Piccolo's concern is that if he does find Broly, imagine if Cell gets to Beerus' planet. If he really is a threat, what if he's able to absorb one of their powers? What if he's able to get Beerus' power for himself too? It's too much of a risk. They'll have to defeat him here. And Piccolo says if he wants to fight, he could face the two of them. And Cell isn't too amused by this. But Piccolo then powers up, with Gohan following suit. Gohan goes into his ultimate form, while Piccolo goes into his orange form. And this does impress Cell. He didn't realize they grew this strong. Alright, fine. How about this? He'll fight them here, and they'll make a nice wager. He is a man of his word after all. He could tell Piccolo's hiding something. So if Cell wins here, he wants Piccolo to tell him the truth. All he cares about is facing Broly. But if Piccolo and Gohan win here, well, that would mean Cell's able to test his full power, and he will have a fun fight in the process, so he'll let it slide. Looks like they don't really have a choice, and they accept those conditions, but they still don't believe it. They're not just going to trust Cell's word that easily, of course. Cell charges Ki, showing off his newfound strength, and immediately, the 2v1 begins. They're actually having a tough time against Cell. They didn't realize he grew this powerful. He's impressed with their strength too, especially Piccolo's. That new form looks very menacing, and he tells Piccolo it suits him pretty well. And Gohan, that was someone who he never actually got to fight. It's strange that he's not using a Super Saiyan form though, but Gohan says he has no need. And Cell could tell something strange about Gohan. Apparently this power he's using draws out his full potential. But he notices, as the battle goes on, Gohan grows fiercer and fiercer, and his strength grows with it. Cell is somewhat enjoying himself here, but this battle is still far too easy for him, even with the two against him. He taunts them mid-battle, trying to get them to use their full strength. And they are, or at least they claim they are. But he needs something to motivate them even further. Cell is all about having a good fight after all, and he has an idea in mind that might be a bit risky. A bluff. Maybe that can make this fight more fun. Maybe after what he said before, they don't view him as a threat, and maybe they do need to view him as a threat to make this fight more enjoyable. Piccolo already is concerned. He doesn't want Cell seeking out Broly. They need to defeat him here, just to keep him interested. And part of Cell actually does want to stay here. He wants to see Gohan's true power now. Gohan even claims mid-battle, even if it seems like Cell has the upper hand, Gohan will figure out a way to win. He and Broly aren't so different, and this really intrigues Cell to hear. So it is true, both of them, they derive immense strength from anger, and Cell has a pretty good idea. He tells them they need to take this fight a little bit more seriously. How about this? If they lose here, he's gonna destroy Earth. They knew it, and they kind of expected this. They were fighting like that anyways, like the fate of Earth depended on it. And Cell starts trying a little harder himself. He's eventually even able to defeat Piccolo, just leaving Gohan against him. He tells Gohan he knows he has more strength in there, but if Gohan doesn't show him anything impressive here, well, he'll just destroy the planet. There's no reason to keep it around in that case. Initially, he was going to keep it around because he knew there were strong people in there, like Broly, and maybe some of the others, but if this is all they have to offer, there's no point keeping Earth around. He only needs to find Broly. And even better, if he destroys Earth, that'll get Broly to get really powerful. He saw how strong Broly got when he was enraged before, so imagine now when he hears his home planet's gone. Gohan is beaten down, while Cell also fends Piccolo off, who keeps trying to get back up and fight, but for some reason this isn't working. Alright, looks like Cell's actually gonna have to do it. He floats up into the air, he sticks out a hand, charging a blast. It condenses, but as soon as it's fully charged, it then expands once more. A brilliant glow illuminates everything, as the beam comes down towards Earth. Gohan counters it with a Kamehameha, while Piccolo comes in with a Masenko. The two try their hardest to push it back, but Cell's able to overpower their blast. It does take a little effort for him to push back, but still. He says they're gonna have to try a little bit harder than that. The blast gets closer and closer to Earth. Gohan looks over at Piccolo, seeing him struggling. Cell's really serious. It's now or never. He needs to do something. It's the only way he could save himself, save his family, save his friends, and prevent Cell from destroying anything else. But Gohan then feels something strange. He knew he was on the cusp of something before, but now, he feels a surge of power. And it's not like his ultimate form. He just feels some sort of immense rage, some power derived from it. It reminds him what he experienced as a child, like when he was fighting against Nappa, or when he was fighting against Frieza on Namek. Something awakens inside of him. Suddenly, Cell's beam is completely overpowered, with Cell narrowly jumping out of the way. And the attack that comes towards him, it's purely Gohan's Kamehameha. Piccolo's attack is dwarfed by Gohan's attack. Cell looks down at the ground, seeing a strange aura emanating from Gohan, and Piccolo's standing there, amazed at what he's seeing. What happened to him? He looked completely different, and Cell smirks. That's more like it. That's what he wanted to see. Gohan looks up at Cell, now with larger white hair. He vanishes from sight, then appearing in front of Cell. He delivers a punch, and Cell is barely able to block it, and he feels the pain ringing through his body. Good. This is the power he wanted to see. Gohan glares at Cell, and Cell tells him he was half bluffing about destroying Earth. He just needed to force this power out of Gohan somehow, make this fight more interesting. And Gohan's infuriated by this. All of this just for some stupid battle. He threatened to destroy everything so needlessly. But Cell says Gohan should be thanking him. Look at the power he's unlocked. And now, they can have a truly amazing battle. Cell launches in towards Gohan, attacking, and Gohan's able to block it. Cell's using his full power now, and Gohan, he's now in his beast form, using his full strength. The two start brawling midair. Gohan's actually overpowering Cell. Piccolo's stunned to watch this. Is this the power that Gohan had inside of him? He and Gohan had been training, and he knew Gohan had something like this in him, but not this strong. Not a completely new form like this. It's terrifying. The power emanating off of it, the way it looks too. The battle rages on, and slowly, Cell begins losing ground more and more. But somehow, Cell is still happy. He's having fun with this battle. And he has a trump card. He knows Gohan wants to kill him, but he knows a way to avoid it. Enjoy this battle to its fullest. He's impressed with Gohan's strength, but at the same time, he knows his perfect form can overcome this. But it doesn't seem like it can. As they fight midair, a beam comes from the ground from Piccolo, who's been charging a blast, launching it at Cell. Cell dodges it in the nick of time, but it works as a perfect distraction too. Gohan blindsides Cell, then grabbing his leg, flinging him up into the atmosphere. Gohan then rushes up there, once again instantly appearing in front of Cell, and point blank, he performs a Kamehameha, seemingly destroying every little bit of Cell. It's over. They protected Earth. Gohan lands back on the surface, tired out, but glad that they won, and Piccolo congratulates him. That power, it's amazing. The two power down, but as they do so, they sense another power appear. It's Cell again. He regenerated completely, a contingency plan of sorts. He knew to move his core around, protect it as much as possible, and he did grow stronger from this regeneration, but he tells them, he promised that if they won, he'd leave them alone. Gohan and Piccolo power back up, trying to use the last of their strength, but Cell says he's not going to fight. They won fair and square, and he got to see Gohan's power. You know, he does want to see Broly again and fight him, but it seems even these two are interesting. He'll visit again eventually, and thanks Gohan for granting him this new power too. Gohan and Piccolo get ready to attack, but Cell just simply flies off out into space, leaving the two of them dumbfounded. He actually was serious. All he cares about is fighting, growing stronger, having a fun battle. What the hell is that guy? But this also shows them another thing. This whole time they've been training, it's been for a good purpose. They defended Earth here, and if Cell ever comes back, they're going to need to be able to defend it once again. Especially now with Gohan having that brand new power, he's going to have to learn how to completely control it. Because who knows what's going to happen next time if Cell comes back. He's such a wild card, they don't know what to think. Meanwhile on Beerus' planet, training is continuing as normal, but they have actually been watching what's going on. They were about to intervene, but by the time they saw the battle, Gohan had already transformed, and they can't believe the power that he's giving off. Well, BROLY can kind of believe it. He knew Gohan had something like that in him. They are pretty similar after all. And Goku's not too surprised either. They're mainly more surprised at Cell, seeing that he's back and that strong. He won't be a threat though, especially with the new powers they've all obtained. Goku and Vegeta were able to catch up pretty quickly, getting God Ki and getting the hang of it. But they are lagging behind a little bit, because they did start a lot later than normal. BROLY is still only working with the Super Saiyan God, same for Goku and Vegeta. But Goku and Vegeta do have another idea, combining Super Saiyan God with the power of Super Saiyan. That could work pretty well. As for BROLY, he's not too sure. It sounds very risky, especially because Beerus says so. Super Saiyan God's already working amazingly for BROLY. Just with that form alone, he's so incredibly powerful. Even with the two of them combined, BROLY's stronger than them. And he's going to continue working with this, gaining perfect control over Godly Ki before he tries to go beyond it. Even with the calming focus of this form, he isn't too sure how it would work with the Super Saiyan, especially if he tries to use a Super Saiyan form with Godly Ki. That could be a recipe for disaster. Eventually, we get the Universe 6 tournament, and it's a perfect opportunity to showcase everyone's power. This time they don't actually need Monaka either, because the three Saiyans are motivated enough. Goku and Vegeta want to keep catching up to BROLY, and as for BROLY, well, he's BROLY. Beerus doesn't think he needs the motivation, he just wants to control that power, and he's already strong enough as is. As for the rest of the team, they recruit Gohan and Piccolo, and as you could probably imagine, this team for the tournament is way too stacked. Universe 6 stands no chance against it. But this tournament does serve as one important thing. Goku and Vegeta are actually the weakest people here, but they're ready to reclaim the throne, especially Vegeta. Goku is unfortunately eliminated by Frost by being poisoned, but that lets Vegeta go up, being able to showcase his newest power, Super Saiyan Blue. And this carries him into the rest of the tournament until he faces Hit, with Hit then eliminating him. But they're happy, this power works, and even if they aren't as strong as they are normally, it's very potent. They're content with where they are, and they'll continue growing as much as possible. Once Vegeta is eliminated, the person to face Hit is Gohan. Hit has some amazing abilities with his time skip and all, but Gohan showcases his beast form, and Broly's excited to see this in person. So is Goku, and Beerus for that matter too. Although, the people in the stands find it kind of freaky. Goten and Trunks think it's awesome. Chi-Chi and Bulma think it's freaky, especially Chi-Chi. And Videl kinda likes it. It's just not the Gohan she's used to. But the two gods of destruction watch with their jaws dropped. This is immortal. He doesn't have any godly powers. And the ki coming off him, it's insane. Hit's even taken aback by it. And his time skip does help him at first, but he can't do any sort of damage to Gohan. Gohan says the abilities he has are cool, but Hit's gonna need more than that to defeat him. And before Hit could even progress at all, Gohan's able to secure the win. Broly and Piccolo are a bit bummed that they couldn't fight, but hey, as long as Universe 7 wins. So that's great, it went well for Universe 7, although there is a pretty big consequence of this tournament. Someone else is watching, obviously, that being Zamasu. At least, another Timeline's version of him. Gohan's power does impress him, but he's not making a mockery of Godly Ki at least. But there are two others that are doing so, Goku and Vegeta, which leads to Zamasu becoming Goku Black, at least one of the Zamasus. He learns that those three Saiyans all have godly powers, as opposed to Vegeta because he learns that Goku's actually the stronger of the two, and he'll be sure to eliminate them in this timeline. But when he steals Goku's body, there is kind of an issue. The people that he fends off on Earth are pretty powerful, and he can't really contend against them. Goku Black definitely was a safer bet for the body to steal. He could have taken Broly's body, but from what he understands, Broly has pretty uncontrollable power. He'd rather not have to worry about that, especially if he's getting a new body, he's gonna have an even worse time controlling it. And instead of fighting everyone, he simply blows up this timeline's version of Earth. It's the quickest way to get rid of everybody, and it goes around destroying this timeline, eventually going to another one, the one where Trunks is from, meeting up with that other Zamasu, who used the Super Dragon Balls to become immortal. But Goku Black is still worried. He doesn't have a full control over Goku's power yet, and if they face any stronger foes, he's not too sure what will happen. He's gonna need to prepare somehow, and they end up getting a good idea for the first test of Goku Black's power. Apparently, Broly was never found in this timeline. He never came to Earth. Goku Black knows from Goku's memories where he was found, some planet called Vampa. Maybe they could find Broly there, and if he truly isn't the same Broly, he probably won't be strong enough to face them, but will be strong enough to still be a good test for Goku Black's power. And worst case, they just blow up the planet like they did with Earth in the other timeline. They do need to eliminate all mortals after all, so why not start with Broly before he becomes a problem? If he even would become a problem. It's a win-win. They get to test Goku Black's power, possibly even making him stronger, and they get to eliminate one of the strongest mortals who's a concern for them. Before the two head to Earth, they actually seek out planet Vampa, and this is where we'll leave off for now. What did you guys think about this part? What's going to happen next time? Leave any thoughts or suggestions in the comments below. I'd love to see what you guys think. As usual, be sure to drop a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Anyways, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video.